Tay Kinney committed to Kansas. We have a reaction video up of that news right now, but he also gave a bunch of quotes that are very unique in nature that we're going to make separate videos about. It's Tay Kinney Day on the Sleepers Media YouTube channel. One of his many compelling quotes after choosing Kansas was given to Joe Tipton. And this is what he said. He said he was recruiting a couple other key members of the 2026 class. Quote, shoot, I already know one that's coming. Right when I said I was going, I put that call in. I ain't going to say his name, but he going to announce. And then trying to get Tyran Stokes. End quote. That is prompted, of course, by Joe Tipton asking Tay Kinney, who do you plan to recruit with you to Kansas? Tay Kinney says, well, I got one. Made one phone call. Is done. I'll let him say it, though. And then Tyron, just the number one player in the class, just the messiest recruitment in the entire class of 2026. Probably couldn't get Tyron on the phone because Tyron was too busy going for like 4 receptions for 74 yards and a touchdown on his new football career in high school. But anyways, Tyran Stokes and a mystery recruit that Tay Kinney claims is already committed to Kansas. Do you think this is real? Do you put some substance to this, or do you think this is just Tay Kinney blowing some smoke?
The Tyron stuff, I'm sure he wants Tyron. And I'm sure like if Bill Self wants to get involved in the Tyron Stokes sweepstakes, I think he could, and it could become real. I think at the moment I lean USC Oregon for Tyron. I think he goes to one of those two schools, but I don't think Kansas is out of it, especially when they have a Tay Kinney. I said this on his recruitment or his commitment video, excuse me, that's up on the channel. To me, he's the best personality in the class, and he has a great game to go along with his personality. I also mentioned he needs to develop a little bit, but like I do think he has a great game to go along with a phenomenal personality. Tay Kinney's the type of guy that definitely won't come alone. Like if you get Tay Kinney, others are going to come with him. I don't know who those others are. I'm not sure that I believe it's Tyron, but I do think Tay Kinney's going to get some guys to come with him for sure.
Yeah, I think he's just a compelling personality. And I mean that genuinely. Now, I know you and I have sort of fleshed out like, is the extra off court personality stuff would take any worth it for a player of his caliber? You kind of just got to take what it is, right? Look, we like magnetic personalities, right? We like guys that have personality. There's a lot of recruits that just put their head down and work. Some programs like that. We like guys that are fun and entertaining and people we'd want to hang out with. I can say undeniably, Tay Kinney is that. Like this kid is electric in all facets of life. He's a guy that people gravitate to on a personal level. And I think that does apply to recruiting. I think we've seen time and time again in the history of college basketball getting an early commitment from a guy that has an enthusiasm to him can be one of the most powerful things in recruiting. Like when a guy like Jeremy Fears commits to Michigan State and then gets on the phone and says, let's do this together. Or when a guy, I don't know, I'm trying to think of other good examples of this, but throughout history with the best recruiting classes, that usually happens. There's a guy who commits and then sort of galvanizes his efforts to getting everybody else there too. I think Tay Kinney's going to be that. And I don't even think Tay Kinney has to work all that hard at that, to be honest. First off, it's Kansas. You don't really have to sell people on going to Kansas and Bill Self, right? It's the best program or one of the best programs in the country with a lot of money and a great place to go. But also people like Tay Kinney and want to be around him. And I think that's very real. Now, this might be 32-year-old me being a parent and saying some shit my parents used to say to me. But you know, who you hang out with is a lot about you, right? And like Tay Kinney, if he's talking about who am I going to recruit, and the one name he'll publicly say is the other most mysterious man in college basketball, the only player in the class who has more off-court hoopla drama to him than Tay Kinney himself, like that would be a pretty compelling pair. Like Tyran Stokes and Tay Kinney together would be incredible on the court. It would also be insane off the court because those two guys have a lot going on personally that has nothing to do with actually playing basketball. So I just kind of find it a little funny. Like that's the guy Tay Kinney's closest with is the guy nobody can get a read on that like is playing football right now and not basketball. But hey, it's interesting. Dion, how's your job going?
Beginning of the school year, everything's like a little up and down. One of the biggest issues we've had is we can't find any uniforms for our girls' sports teams.
Mm. That's a difficult thing to find a solution for. I know damn well all about that because I got a daughter that just turned 2. She's into sports and she's already outgrowing every little piece of sports apparel she had. Thankfully, I know Clara Kate Creations. Clara Kate Creations was started by a former high school teacher who quit because it wasn't cost effective to send new twins and a 2-year-old to daycare. She found it easier to make girls' sports apparel than finding it to buy. And I am so thankful that she exists because if we have an old shirt of Murph's that she's outgrown, we can send it in and she takes that piece of apparel that means something and upcycles it into an outfit that Murphy can now wear as she grows up. She makes great stuff. It's honestly kind of like your fullback's wife, Kyle Juszczyk. Is that how you say it? She does that. But honestly, I think Clara Kate's coming for Mrs. Juszczyk's job.
I love that. I'm a big Juice guy, love his wife. Love Claire Kate even more than both of them, though.
You can send in your own custom ideas and she will come up with a design. She's just the best. Look up Clara Kate Creations on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and more.
I It would make sense that Tay Kinney and Tyran Stokes play together, right?
Yeah.
Like that adds up in my head. If there were like Vegas betting odds on where Tyron Stokes commits to, I feel like Oregon, USC are probably the two favorites at the moment. I would put money on Kansas because I feel like it makes sense that these two guys would get along really well. These two guys would want to play together. The only thing I'd say, I like hinted at this on the commitment video. If he brings too many people with him, he can unpack his bags in Lawrence, Kansas.
I don't think they got to worry about that with Stokes, though. And it sounds like the guys he's recruiting are very different positionally than Tay Kenny. Like, it,
I just mean opportunity wise. Like, because I feel like he
yeah.
went to Kansas to like kind of have the ball in his hands a little bit to like kind of be the guy. Like when he's talking about it, it feels like he's going there because like this is my show. You're about to become like you might go from the main character to like a side actor a little bit depending on who you bring to Kansas. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with that, but that would be my only caution to take. Kenny is he's talking as if he's going to be Darren Peterson, but he might be bringing the next Darren Peterson with him.
I'm pretty sure he said on record that part of his choice of Kansas was the Darren Peterson pitch. So, but yeah, to your point, like if you are Darren Peterson and you bring Tyran Stokes with you, that would basically be like, oh yeah, it's the Darren Peterson pitch, but AJ DeBonsa's here and we're gonna play through him. Like that's not exactly how it works. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Even if they're best friends, I don't know if they are or not. Even if they're best friends, I don't think Tyron Stokes is gonna go anywhere anyone tells him to go. Tyron Stokes is a force of nature, wild card, crazy guy that respectfully, all the reasons on earth could line up. You should go here, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I'm going to go play for Eric Musselman." So we'll see where that goes. But it's interesting to say the least that Kansas now has a very high profile commit saying, "Yeah, I want Tyron to come with me." That's a first that we've really seen in this recruitment at all. The other element of this is the mystery player. Tay said he won't name him, but he's already committed, and that we'll all find out soon when he wants to announce. I think I know who this player is. Do you have any guesses on this before I say who I think it is?
I don't have any guesses. Who do you think it is?
It's top 25 kid in the class. I think it is Davion Adkins, who is a front court guy. Really, I think projects to be a center. Was down to Kansas, Houston, and Rutgers, but was visiting Kansas this past weekend.
Prolific prep guy too, right?
Yep.
Prolific prep adds up with everything Tay Kinney does for what it's worth.
Very good player. The interesting thing is Kansas wants Adkins and also Ethan Taylor. And Ethan Taylor is a guy that Indiana, Michigan State want. And there's a lot of ominous, like, well, if Kansas backs out of that one, it bodes really well for Michigan State. But if they don't, it's going to be Kansas. So, like, in a weird way, Tay Kenny getting Davion Atkins to go to Kansas might mean Michigan State gets Ethan Taylor, which, if so, Tay Kenny, you're my op again. You're my op. I tried really hard to have you not be, but now here we are. If you're pushing Ethan Taylor to Michigan State, we got issues. But no, I think if there's a silent commit to Kansas right now, it's got to be Adkins, and I would guess we get that news pretty quickly.
Kinney, Atkins, Stokes is a great recruiting class. Um, Bill Self is still very much so Bill Self. Like what he wants, he gets. If he wants it, he's going to do it. The question was, does he want to do it anymore? If he gets that trio, I think we got our answer. It's kind of like when Izzo got the Fears, Carr, Book recruiting class, and it's like, okay, he's not going anywhere. If Bill Self gets that trio, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, 100%. Also, so Tay Kinney implying, I don't know, you tell me, fact check me on this. Do you think Tay Kinney was implying that he had something to do with Davion Atkins choosing Kansas?
Yes, yes, and like he might have slightly like Davion Atkins probably wants to play with a point guard, and to see them get one of the better point guards in the class, he's that probably like he was probably going to go to Kansas regardless, but it probably moved up like his commitment a little bit.
Sure. Timing wise, I buy that. The quote was basically like, yeah, I already got one. I already got one. Like I did this. I already got one. I just want to make this known. That's like the time that our producer JK texted us at like 2:30 p.m. Like, hey, just got those 15 videos up. Man, I'm crushing it. Looks like I'm gonna set a record for views. And we're just like, dog, we were up at 8 a.m. today recording these. We had to wait 6 hours, and now they're up, and you're taking the credit for it. Like, again, I love, and by the way, JK, you've been doing a great job. If you listen to this, because like I think you've elevated. We just had our best month in history, and privately, I have been saying JK is responsible for this, but Tay Kinney taking the credit for that is crazy.
JK does have a lot of Tay Kinney to him, by the way. JK
he,
does have a lot of Tay Kinney to him.
JK would launch his own water.
And he would put the Sleepers logo on it too and be like, but he would take all the money from it.
Don't worry, it'll get there in 12 weeks. Everybody, buy my water.